Hey everybody, hope you're having an awesome day today. So in today's video, we're going to be walking over a library by Ava Group, and this is called PRISM. So it's kind of like a modern drum library. It's quite small in size, but the sounds that it contains are very big and very suitable for trailers and for pop songs alike. So this is what I wanted to go into for this video. The folks at Ava were very kind to send me a copy for the review, and I really wanted to dive into this library because of its huge sounds, and I'm currently writing like a pop album as well, so I could definitely use some of these sounds in there. So let me just walk you through the interface actually. First of all, you'll notice that the library runs in the full version of Contact. And so, the full version of Contact can be a little bit expensive, so I might wait for a sale for that one. But this library does run in that in Contact, okay? So the library ships also with audio files. If you don't want to use Contact, you can, use all the WAV files that these come with, and there's plenty of choices here. So you have your kick, you have, toms, snares, claps, open and closed hi-hats, cymbals, and so on. And then they also have drum loops, which I'll show you in just a little bit. But let's talk about the GUI. So you can see here that it's actually very sleek, very cool. The interface focuses on 10 preset combinations of kick, snare, clap, and hi-hat. This is an update where they included both open and closed hi-hats. Before they only just had one type of hi-hat. Maybe it was closed, I'm not quite sure. But it's good to have this variety of both open and closed. So right now you can see that the kick is set to 1, hi-hat is set to 1, and the snare and clap is set to 1 as well. So if we play these keys at the bottom, the ones that are lit up as blue right there on the bottom, this is what this combination sounds like. And these are the claps here. Okay. You can tell it's a very, processed sound, and it works perfectly for cutting through a mix. That's the whole kind of aim of this library, was to have a sound that was immediately present and very punchy without having too much processing for yourself to do. It's supposed to just, pop and play, basically. And I think they did a really nice job there. So let's check out the second combination. So you can just literally click on that circle and drag it to number 2. And this is what this sounds like. Actually, that's the clap. Let me play the snare, actually. Here you hear the kick has a bit of a shuffle kind of sound at the bottom. Kind of a noise floor kind of thing. So let's see, I didn't like that. Let's say I wanted to switch for another kick sound. I can press the assign mode and actually switch 1 for 2. So now the kick is from the number 1 slot, but the other ones stayed the same. And then you can actually see this one says 1 and this one says 2. So now they switch the numbers around. So now it sounds like this, which is a really cool feature. So let's reverse that. I think one of my favorite modes or presets is number 7. This one sounds very cinematic actually. So like this. Just huge. Like I can imagine, big drums in the background, big horns, whatever, and the clap, is very reverb, so it's very heavy on that processing. Right. And so here's your close and open hi-hat. So here's the closed. And then open. So you also have these other controls here for each of the groups. You have your volume, EQ, reverb, and transient master. The reverb is pretty self-explanatory. You just add the amount of reverb you want to that kick. So let's see. Ooh, a little more. So yeah, you can tell here at the very bottom, it's very, very punchy. So the more we turn this up, the more attack we get on the initial transient. Right there. Very punchy. Hits you hard. Love it. And volume obviously is kind of like volume compared to the other elements here. So that's kind of the main function of it. Relatively simple compared to some other GUIs, but I really like how it operates. And of course, the selling point is the sounds. Let's kind of look into the loops just a little bit here. So these are 4 loops that I've drawn in, some of my favorites. So here's the first one. I can imagine some Drake song with that. Number 2. There we go. Here, number 3. Here I'm getting some Imagine Dragons kind of vibes with the kind of the stomps and the heavy like the heavy stomps, kind of the low end that comes up a little bit. Reminds me a lot of their music. And then finally, number 4. I would say this one could definitely be used for more of like an R&B or hip hop type of thing, where it's more sparse in terms of the arrangement, but there's more instruments happening in between to fill it in. So, you get quite a bit of variety in these loops, and there's enough samples that give you a good amount of choice. So, it's not the biggest drum library out there, and on its regular price, it's $99, which might be a little expensive for a hobbyist. So right now it's on sale actually at the time of this recording for $67, which might be more worth it for you. But just keep that in mind. The main selling point of this library again is its immediacy in the sound. Like, it just punches through. It requires very little mixing and to work with the other elements in your tracks. And yeah, the preset combinations it comes with makes it really easy to work with because there's only a few keys you really need to press. So hopefully you enjoyed this walkthrough. I personally enjoyed this library. I'm going to be using it a ton more in my own music, my own songs. So I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a good day, guys. Bye-bye.